Shut up and dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
What up?
Yes, welcome. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
Yeah, mate.
Yes, he's the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here, interviewing the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom. So we're laughing at it all and covering it all while providing a platform to be heard. So today, you know how we do about this time is we want to welcome our guests to the show. So MH is the DB of the show. So, you know, I'm the DE of the show. So when we get a defensive end outside linebacker on the show, you know I get excited. All right. So former Packers linebacker, XFL player, now an entrepreneur and owner of Prolinked. And he's going to tell you why you are the MVP. Let's clap it up for Donte Savage.
All right. Appreciate it.
Man, we thank you for taking the time, man, and, you know, getting this going. With busy schedules, you know, there's a lot of adjustments. Yeah, so man, welcome to the show. How we start off the show, man, is we like to ask a shoot your shot moment. All right.
Okay.
So it could be a story, any time frame. It could be, you know, when you were, young whippersnapper to any time in college or your adult life, but just a short shoot your shot story to share with the people.
Just anything.
Anything. It was exclusive. Shoot your shot moment. You went for it all on yourself.
Man, when I was in high school, coming out of high school, I had all these recruits, you know, like all these schools like Oregon State, Nebraska, Portland State, Texas Southern, you know, but I didn't pass the SAT and, you know, like the clearinghouse and all that stuff back in the day. Yeah, man, it used to be so hard to get in school. No, but what I did was when I didn't get those offers, I didn't have nothing after my senior year. Like I was like, after my senior year, I have no offers after my junior year. Coach left, everything just kind of like crumbled. So basically what I did was I asked my high school coach, Coach Haskins, because he was the head coach of our basketball team. And they were like top 25 in the nation, you know, like everybody going D1, everybody getting scholarships. So I asked him, I said, do they have prep schools for football players?
Okay.
And he was like, actually they do. And I looked online and I seen the top 10 and I picked Hargrave and Fork Union. Those are the top two. I sent my film. They both called back. And then I took the number one school, Fork Union. Then me and my mom, we went out there. We flew out to Virginia, just like, hey, they called you. They want you to see you work out. So she said, "This is your future." So she supported that.
Let's go.
We flew out there, and the rest was history. They gave me a scholarship right on the spot after the tryout. And that changed my life, you know.
There it is.
Yeah.
What started your love for sports, Donte?
Sports. When I was a kid, you know, like playing with my cousins and stuff, you know, we was, you know, all the boys, we out there playing in the middle of the street, you know, things like that. But I think sports what happened me was when I played in the fourth grade. No, I was a third grader playing with all the fourth graders because I was bigger than everybody. So they actually got away with it. But you know, just like loving the game, but also just, you know, like growing up when I was a kid, you know, my home life wasn't perfect. You know, a lot of, you know, domestic violence going on and things that basically just children shouldn't be seeing in the first place, you know. Right. And basically, you know, sports just kept me alive and kept me focused, kept me disciplined, and, you know, it always took me to newer levels in my life. you know, and kept me focused on what I need to do, because I could have easily fell down the same traps that my father and my cousins and you know some of my family members have done. So like I had to keep that on straight, because you know I wanted to go to college, I wanted to go to the NFL, and you know I know I couldn't get in trouble if I wanted to do that. So like you have to keep your head on straight.
No, man, it's funny. I was just talking to a good friend of mine about that. Just how I missed ninth grade I missed freshman ball because I wanted to be a gangster, because I thought, you know, and you can't be a thug getting good grades. So
nah, definitely, man, because you know you got them dudes. You know, you in high school, you got them knuckleheads on the team. You know, they all your homeboys, but you know, like some of them go left, some of them go right. And so, you know, like that's just how it is.
100%, man.
100%.
Yeah. So born in Oregon, Portland?
Portland, Oregon, born and raised, man. This is where my family from. You know, like we've been here since the beginning, since Vanport. Vanport ain't even a city no more. They actually it's a park now. So yeah, we've been here since like the 30s and 40s, bro. So you know, yeah,
legacy, boy, legacy.
Yeah. It's like, so this is home.
So I've only been to Portland a couple times with football trips, but never really experienced the city. So I've heard different things about Portland.
Okay.
Portland, from your perspective, being a native.
Portland. I mean, the city's dope. Like, to be honest, the city's dope. One thing I don't like, we was one of the first cities to get gentrified. So you see what I'm saying? So I'm from Northeast Portland.
Okay.
Northeast Portland is like the middle of the city, 15 minutes away from downtown. You know, everything is right there. So you really ain't got to go far. Like, you ain't really got to go to the east side. You ain't really got to go to Southeast Portland. Northeast is like the heart of the city, and it's like the biggest area of the city. And so, like, it was fun, man, growing up. You know, a lot of community events. You know, Nike, you got Nike, you got Adidas here. So, like, when we was kids, they had a lot of camps. You know, Damon Stoudemire, guys like Terrelle, Brandon, AC Green. We all from Northeast Portland. They all had camps. They had all camps and stuff. So, you know, as kids, we always stay occupied with them. You know, being at all their basketball camps and stuff like that. And then you also got SEI. But just as a city, like just in general, it used to be a very good and close Black culture. You know. And now, you know, you got, since they gentrified it, now you got everybody just spread around, so it don't look like nothing.
So what caused it? What, like, like industry coming in that changed it? Like, what was like the
it's just real estate, bro. Because they know, like, because we in the heart of the city. It's nice. Like, you can get to everything fast. Like, the houses is big. The houses was cheap. You know, like the house I grew up in, my parents bought it for like $150. Back in the 90s, now it's like 600,000. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. Yeah, like,
hey, like I tell my friends, don't sell grandma's house, man.
Exactly.
Tell our folks is like, when someone passes, do not sell that, because that's the first thing we do as a culture sometimes is just sell it and we'll split the money. Like,
nah, don't sell that.
Sell grandma's house.
Exactly.
100%.
No, that's just, you know, that's just how it is. But you're starting to see it all over the country. But, you know, like with that, man, the sports era, you know, like even growing up seeing the Blazers, Trailblazers, because I grew up like I remember the Blazers like in 2000, 2001, like when it was called the Jailblazers. Yeah. So
Zach Randolph,
hey man, you'll see
Z.
Hey, you'll see Zebo like on the K. Like, that's Martin Luther King Boulevard. That's what we call it, the K. You'll see him on Martin Luther King in Fremont, chilling by the liquor store, at the barbershop. Like, no, for real, man. You'll see. Like, it was really that cool. Like, even the Blazers, they'll come up there and open run up at the parks. They'll come up.
Used to be a city.
They'll come up to the park, hoop, have run, because they have like pro-ams and like summer jams and stuff like that, you know, where all the pro players come in and hoop and, you know, just for the summertime get worked out. But it was just lively, man. You know, team was winning. Everything was cool. You know, they had Black clubs, Black businesses. You know, it was just a lot of stuff going on in the city that I wish a lot of people seen. But you know, like, but we right in between Seattle, California, so nobody really know what the hell's going. Know what's going on. So you know, like, but it was like, man, it's always been fun. Weather's nice. You got mountains. You looking at mountains.
With the Oregon Portland TVB, man. You selling
the man. But the thing about it is, one thing I like about this city though is like the community. I have a lot of friends that have nonprofits, and there's a lot of Black nonprofits out here. So if you want to start a business or anything like that, they'll help you with the paperwork and get you set up with a program. And there's a lot of nonprofits that just even during the pandemic, like people had nonprofits where the government will send the money so you can give out to the community because people were, a lot of people they lost all their jobs. So that's one thing I like about the city, man, is like we take care of our own, that's dope, man.
Well, hey, you did bring it up, so I want to ask this question. I was going to ask it later. So obviously you are a Portland Trailblazer fan then, correct?
I gotta be, man. That's the city. Like by default.
So I hope you think it's some exciting news. You have a new coach. What's your thoughts around that?
Man, that's dope, man. I told him like having Chauncey Billups, man, he brings some dogs on the team, man. Like, you got to bring some dudes that have some passion. I thought I was joking around. I was like, they should have Rasheed Wallace as the assistant coach. has Rasheed up in there, man. Like he did a lot for this city, and just seeing him rolling around in that green Bronco. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was a kid, it was pretty dope seeing all them dudes, come to the city and support and do their thing, man. Yeah. So, I'm just happy. But one thing I'm not happy about is that reporter that brought that incident up that happened in 97. I'm just like, dog, that was 1997. That's not relevant to anything we talking about right now. But other than that, Chauncey Billups, man, I hope he changed it around and changed the culture. Seriously.
Yeah, funny how those things pop up sometimes. When certain people get opportunities. But
hey, man,
we won't talk about that.
But you know what I'm saying, though. But
I know what you're saying.
It wasn't relevant, no kind of the conversation, but we got all.
But Chauncey's a hometown hero. He's from Denver, Colorado.
Oh yeah, he sure is. He sure is. Did he go to Colorado State?
He went to University of Colorado.
Okay,
he's a hometown. He went to George. Hometown hero. So you mentioned some basketball words. I know we're gonna get into your football. But was there any hoop dreams for you?
To be honest, I played basketball. Like I was more a street ball player. Like
you hot Austin.
No. I wasn't like the flashy guy. I was just I was the only football player. You see what I'm saying? And all my homies was hoopers. So, like, I played basketball just to keep me in shape and do like that. But if you want to get run, you have to go to the park. And that's how you earn your stripes around here. Like, forget the league game. Everybody in the summertime coming up because there ain't no rules. But basketball, it was just always, like my second love because that's what I played. And, that's what we do up here, and we just play sports, man. Like one of the way that a lot of guys, get out the hood is just basketball, football, just trying to get into the sports industry. Because the high school I went to, Jeff, we had guys like Aaron Miles, Michael Lee. These guys went to like University of Kansas. Thomas Gardner, he went to University of Missouri. Mac Hobson, even though Terrence Ross, they went to Jeff. Yeah, so we got like our roots is which guy went to Jeff too? The coach for Boston.
Udoka. Yeah, I heard
he went to Jeff. He went to Jeff, Portland State. Man, it's a lot of dudes. Who else went to? It's a lot of dudes that went up to Jeff just in the PIL in general. Just our league is like that's just how it came up. Every year you got some guys going to college and going to the pros every year.
So with Jeff, and this is what just doing a little background, and you mentioned this. So did you do some time at Jeff and some time at Fort Union? Like, how did that work out?
No. So I went 4 years to Jeff. I went to high school, like I live right down the street,
Okay.
like that's where I went. But I went to prep school after I went to high school because
Really?
so basically it was just like an extra year. I got my grades right and then I got a full ride scholarship. But we also got to play. So we was playing against college teams. So it was basically like my red shirt year. So but I didn't lose no years of eligibility. So I still have my red shirt year, still have my gray shirt, and I still have my 4 years. So so basically I just did that, took them lumps, learning the new position because I play Mike. Like that's my natural position is Mike backer. They changed me into a defensive end. I didn't even want to play it. I was like, man, this is boring. So I was used to being in the middle of the field, but when I got up to the next level, they moved me back to backer. But yeah,
so how was Union? Because that's a different, going through high school.
Major Payne? Was it Major Payne? I know it's a military school.
Hey, all boys military school.
Hey man, listen to me, man. Listen to me, man. We had dudes on the team that's actually good. Like we had guys that went to South Carolina. Like I'm talking about, you got Miami, Alabama, all the big. It's all SEC schools coming to your practice every single day.
Wow.
So you in front of the cream of the crop, but we're playing. These are like we're like the best high school dudes in the nation. So like you really can't. You gotta come see us. But it was rough because when I first got there, you can't have no phones. So the whole camp. Shout out to Coach Schumann. That was my coach, my head coach. But Coach Schumann, he was just a whole nother beast. He made us three practices a day, full pads for 30 days straight. So we had to basically we were on like some Bear Bryant. Excuse me, we was like on some Bear Bryant type stuff, man, because it was crazy, man.
3 water breaks.
No, basically, all you did was eat and sleep in football. That's it for the next 30 days. But it was rough because you had dudes over there because we had no phones, so we had to use calling cards. So you had dudes, crying because their mom ain't picking up. There was one dude running away. He ran away. Mm-hmm. He couldn't take it. Mm-hmm. Like dudes, like he was in there breaking people. Like, hey, we gonna see if you really want it. I'm talking about, and then when school started, then you got to deal with the military stuff. Yeah. So you got football, and then you got to shine shoes.
Yeah, Major Payne.
Yeah. I was like, man, but after a while, you get used to it. But one thing, it got me prepared for the next level because I came into college and started as a true freshman. But I played as a true freshman.
Yeah. And so before we get to that step, that is our next talk about the recruiting, because you said that was shoot your shot moment, getting into this school, and that changed like just your whole trajectory of things. Yeah. So how did you end up at New Mexico State? Like, you had a lot of offers. Just walk us through. So
basically, what it is like I made my name for myself in the Northwest, because I was like all state and North South game, all the little all-star games and all that. Yep. So so I made a buzz for myself, but starting over that next year, the on the East Coast, a lot of those coaches don't know who I am. You see what I'm saying? So like they really don't know, but I just went out there and balled out, man. Like I just came in there, took somebody's spot, and like I just had to go in there and just grind it out, and it made me a good football player. Like made me take it more serious because I know like the pool gets smaller once you get to college, and then from college you go to the pros. Like so, it's like if you got a D1 offer or just even at a D1 school, bro, y'all should be happy because everybody don't get that. I don't even care if you the 119 school. Like, hey, a lot of guys getting that opportunity like that, but 100%. it just is what it is. But how I got to New Mexico was basically a month before school was going in, just past my SAT. They just called out of nowhere, and my coach was like, "Yeah, some school on New Mexico State want to come in, bring you down on a visit. So I'm like, New Mexico State. I'm like, where the hell is that at?
Las
I'm thinking
Cruces.
I had to look on the map. I was like, bro, that's at the bottom. I said, no, we like right there by the border. It was like, yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. So we went there. Campus wasn't bad. It was just in the middle of nowhere. You know, campus is big. We got one of the biggest campuses in the NCAA. So like the campus was no problem. It was just, you know, we was in the country. You know, like especially when I first got there, wasn't a lot of black people or just any people of color on the campus. Period.
Right.
You know, like I'm just saying because you know, like you really out there in the country. But it was my freshman year was a transition, but each year it got better and better because you got more people of they stressed on getting more people of color to the school because they had a lot of like nursing programs, fashion programs. They wanted to, you know, bring that, you know, back to their school. But just the way getting to New Mexico State was like, yeah, I just went there on a visit. They offered me, and that was it. Like that was history. And then I came back to school. My coach was like, "Hey, man, if you want to decommit, you can come back to Fork Union next year, play another semester, and go to Clemson." And he was like, he was like, "We'll get you in." He was like, "Cause Clemson was looking at you, but they want to bring you in next year." And I was like, "Look, man, I'm 19." I was like, I'm not trying to be a 20-year-old freshman. Like, I was like, and the thing about it is I wasn't thinking, I was just trying to get out of there because, you know, I'm 19, first time away from home, and I'm around an all-boys school. And, you know, like, hey, man, a bro got needs. Like, I was like, I got to get up out of here. I was like, but I came for what I came. And I got what I needed to get.
Yeah, you did what you needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, if I didn't have no offers, then I would have did a lot different. But I was happy with my decision. I started 3 years, and, you know, got all these acclimates, awards, records, all type of stuff at New Mexico State. Like I got first. It was funny, but I got the first block punt since 1992, and this is back in 2009. Yeah. I was like, dang! I was like, yeah, I had a block punt since 92. I was like, all right, and then got white player of the week. Mm-hmm. So I was the best white player in October in my junior year. We played against rival game against UNM. I went ham, had like 9 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
Now y'all played Ohio State. It was just too, right?
Huh?
Y'all played Ohio State.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was my first game. I started my first year, my sophomore year. That was the first game out the second game out the gate.
Yo,
walking into Ohio State. I'm sitting there like,
insane.
It was because it looked like a big shoe, but the thing about it is I didn't go outside for pregame. So I was just chilling. I was like, man, I ain't even gonna psych myself out.
Right.
I was just kind of like, just let it happen. You know, let my game come. Like I'm new to this position. Like the coach said, I'm starting, so I'm out there. You feel me? So like I just had to go out there and perform. And actually, I had a good game. I had 9 tackles that game. Yeah.
Like, who's the quarterback?
Pryor.
Terrelle Pryor.
Yeah, I got a couple plays on him. You know, like yeah, that was my first game. I was just playing off adrenaline. Like, hey, because the thing about it was like Ohio State, they got big, tall linemen, but they wasn't like physical. So I was just like, oh no, y'all ain't about to. So I was only like 240, 239. Yeah, I was little, bro. Yeah.
So what was your move, man? Like what were your go-to moves?
My go-to moves was like when I was there, I used to be more of like a speed rusher. You know, I could spin. I had a couple moves. I had the swim move. Mine was always the dip. Like I dip under the old lineman. Yeah, because I knew I was faster on him. So if I could get that second to turn his hips, then it was over with. You know, and plus my arms was long. So
like Spice Adams, right? I hope you weren't doing.
Nah. No, and one thing I used was my arms, bro, because I had long ass arms. So I was only 6'1", but my wingspan is 81 inches. So I got like a 6'9" wingspan. So when I get up with old linemen, like you can't get in my chest because my arms is just as long as yours. So it body's weird, but it's proportionate. It works right, you know.
I mean, I know that it's about leverage up there up front.
No, definitely, definitely.
And Dwight Freeney wasn't a tall guy, but he made a long career.
6'1".
Yeah, with long arms, same kind of thing.
Ill.
Yeah. He was big, but he was bigger than me though. So like, because the thing about I was more like an athlete because I could go out and cover not DBs, but wide receivers and running backs. So anything on flares, I could line up.
You cover running backs. You weren't covering no wide receivers, Donte.
No, they used to put me up. They used to put me up on slots and stuff sometimes, even when I was in tight ends too. So I just had to learn. One thing I did was I practiced with the receivers. So like that's how I got my feet work great. So
what package was that y'all was running where you was?
We ran a 4-3. So a lot of times they'll get flares. Sometimes they'll have me line up on the tight ends in the slot. If they switch, we got to switch. So it's not like they lining me up there like on a cornerback, but if they come in the inside, I got to take them. So but it was fun though because I was only like 245, so I could match up. So like I was running like a 4.5. So I wasn't So I wasn't one of them little the dudes that was just throwing out there. Nah, it was fun, man. Yeah, like
check. There's somebody out here.
To be honest,
we got somebody out here.
No, to be honest, I like that because it was like I was bigger, but I was like they didn't know exactly what I was working with because I was a new kid on the block, so it kind of like threw people off. They was like, man, how the hell this dude 6'1", 240, and he running like this with running backs and DBs? I mean, running backs, DBs. Like, yeah, I was just doing it all, man. Like I had to. Like I was just an athlete, bro. Like I could play offense, I could play tight end, I could do all that shit. So I was just like, just put me in with, like they was just put me in stuff. Just out there, man. So it was fun.
Was Ohio? So what was your most memorable game in college? Was that Ohio State or what was that another?
To be honest, my most memorable game was I could say I have two of them. The one when I got WAC Player of the Week was against UNM. Actually, I broke both of those records, both against UNM rivalry games. But
right there.
But one thing was when my freshman year we played against University of Nevada. Kapernick, he was we the same age, but he came in the year before me. But we beat them on homecoming overtime, 38-35. They was on the 10-yard line. My boy Ryan Orn, I'll never forget this. They tackled him. Kaepernick, I think it was Kaepernick, fumbled it. Ryan, he was a defensive end. He was like 290. Ran it back 80 yards, 85 yards.
Let's go, Big Ben.
Bro, in overtime, though. It was overtime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, game over.
Yeah. Storm the field. Now, this was at the –
this was at Nevada.
This was their homecoming.
But yeah, that was their homecoming.
That's that disrespectful stuff. You see, they had the team hotel. Yeah, I know all about it.
Yeah. So we was at their homecoming, so they wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Oh, that's love.
Yeah, so it was fun. That was my first game I actually started. It was like, Sav, you going in second half. I was like, all right. So I was ready, man.
All right, man. So transitioning, and you can do it either way. Tell us about your pro day, right? So I know New Mexico State had a pro day. Yeah. And tell us how the combine or the draft process went for you.
I mean, the draft process, I didn't know it because, like nobody taught me. Like I wasn't, to be honest, like coming out of college, I wasn't prepared at all because I didn't know exactly, like I didn't have nobody, to tell me anything. I was just kind of like, all right, I got an agent, So
that was going to be my question. How did you get how did you find your agent? How did that go?
I mean, it was to be honest, it was a lot of. I guess my senior year wasn't the best at all. It was the worst season of my whole career there. But at the same time, I learned a lot. But also, it was just me and my coach wasn't seeing eye to eye. You know, the whole coaching staff changed, and it was just like the whole demographics changed. So it was kind of like he was just kind of like letting everybody do what they want. But when I was coming up, they was strict. They was on us. So I'm used to that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then I see these new guys coming in and they just walking in the meetings late. Coach ain't saying nothing. And I'm just sitting here kind of like pissed off, like, bro, this is not cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just wasn't cool. And I was a senior and I was just trying to get everything aligned. But, you know, it was just a lot of fighting back between the coaches and I, because I was more like the old school coaches, because our coaches before we had like not Dom Capers. I played with him, but he was my coach in Green Bay. But I had Dale Lindsey was my defensive coordinator. I had who was it? He used to be a coordinator for the Chargers back when they went to the Super Bowl back in the 90s. And then we had Kenny Holmes. He was one of my defensive line coaches. He played in the league, played at University of Miami. Remember Marcus Washington? They used to play outside linebacker. Yeah, he was one of our defensive coaches.
Wow.
And when I was there, like my senior year, like, cause I had the red shirt my senior year. So like a lot of teams took a liking to me. So it was about 30 out of the 32 teams at my practices, like probably every week.
And this was your senior year after
yeah, this
redshirted, like your
my red shirt. I redshirted my senior year, so they made sure I was coming in next year. Academics.
Okay.
You know, like I ain't gonna lie, I was you know, it's like I was ready to go. But you know,
I tell people senioritis is a real thing.
No, seriously. I finished it though. I got my degree, but it was weird because like I was getting all these mail from like all these big agencies and things like that, and then all of a sudden, you know, the year turned around. Now I ain't got no agent. My coach, he was talking some nonsense, and like
so
I was
really help you lock down.
Like you know, like every player got an exit meeting.
Okay.
You know, they you understand, it makes you know about the exit meeting after a year, like the evaluation. But it was just like some foul stuff they said to me. It was just like all of a sudden I'm balling out, doing all this stuff, going to workouts, you know, I'm buying in and doing all this. Now all of a sudden I ain't good enough to play in the NFL. You know, like he said that to me, and I was just like, wow, all right.
You were out on your own.
Like that's I was like, that's how you feel. But the thing about I ain't did nothing to him. You know, it was just kind of like, damn, you just gonna, you know, like try to throw shade on me as soon as I get out.
Right.
And, you know, like he was, you know, and then I didn't get drafted. So I got picked up. The only two teams called me was the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. So, and they was the two hot teams at the time.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I picked Packers, you know, unfortunately, but I should have picked the Niners, because it was like looking back. But at the same time, you know, I have fun.
That was the same year that you got drafted that they picked up Jones, right? The D8, Donte Jones out of, where was he out of? I want to say Maryland. You get drafted what, 2013 or 2012?
That was, so basically my last season was that 2012-2013 season, because you know the years they'll roll into the next year. So I was supposed to be in that 2013 season with the Packers. So I played 4 games with them. I was there whole preseason. All I did was go to camp. I knew the odds was against me. I knew I was a long shot. A lot of people they see me coming from this small school, so they didn't really. You know, I'm back east, so they you know, all these dudes going to Alabama, Ohio State, right. You know, like everybody just with the ego trip right now. But I just went there, stayed in my lane, grinded. 3 days later, they said they want to sign me. They told me in the locker, walking back to the locker room, because they put us all the rookies in a big room, and they was like, "Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Have a nice day." I was like, what? I was like, you just and so like And then all they GA started. As soon as we walk out, all they GAs, and one dude was like, "Hey, Donte." I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He was like, "Yeah, we want to sign you." I was like, "Oh, all right." So it was like 90 of us. They only kept 5 of us, and then they cut a dude to keep me. So he was, and then after the meetings the next day, he was tight. He was looking at me in the locker room like I did something, bro. I was like, "Bro, like, what you mad at me for?" It's like it is what it is. Like I don't have the decision to make that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But so I just came in there and just balled out and took the position, and then I was there for about 4 or 5 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you went through camp, and then we were talking pre-show when we were kind of getting prepped and ready. You actually worked a camp. You had a chance to work the Raiders camp, and just what were some of the differences that you kind of realized looking back?
The business side of running
running
a franchise, and just basically like the logistics of getting, like the field ready, and just basically, dealing with the fans, and basically, just basically the grunt work, and also just knowing how, like, who the managers and what they do. And, I was just looking at everything. I was just soaking everything up. Like I knew that I wasn't going to be there for the long run, but at the same time, I took it as like a learning experience of taking Prolinked. Like, so when I want to throw a camp, now I know what to do, and that's how I took it. I wasn't tripping about, the stuff that I was doing. Like, I wasn't tripping. I was like, I knew I had to do like the ambassador stuff. Like, that wasn't no problem. I just wanted to see how the logistics work, and plus rub some shoulders with some people. I need to talk to some people. So I was like, yeah, well, let me get this opportunity to go talk to some of these coaches and tell them about Prolinked and things like that too as well. So it was a good experience.
Beneficial. So kind of into your playing days, man, coming from Portland, Green Bay is probably one of the 2, 3, 4 historic franchises in NFL. So seeing your name on the back of that Green Bay Packers jersey, man, for the first time, what was that feeling, man?
Oh, amazing. I took a picture of it.
You got your phone back from Virginia. It was like, let me take a picture.
Man, it was so funny because I took a picture of it, man. I got like 300 likes in less than like 10 minutes. I was like, dang. I was like, but it was fun though, man. Like seeing that 94. Actually, my jersey number when I was in camp, when I first got there, was 97. And I was like, I got to change my number. And then they switched me out to 94. But it was cool, man, seeing my jersey, and especially when you going out there on the lights, your first game, you just like, damn, I actually made it.
Yeah,
hey, how what I'm saying, man? How was just the city?
Like I ain't gonna talk. The city ain't bad. It's just you in the country. Plain and it's simple. You're in northern Wisconsin. Like there's nothing to explain. Like there's like you're just like you just in the country. Like literally the biggest building in the city is the stadium.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, like dudes be having fans come over to the house, like the fans be coming over kicking it with the players, like just having a barbecue because guys got families. So you got a couple dudes that been on the team. So your next door neighbor, hey man, you wanna come out to a barbecue? For sure. Now we kicking it with the whole community. So that was I ain't gonna lie, that was dope.
Yeah, I know. I've heard there's a Green Bay's kind of a close, kind of tight knit kind of community. So 2 things with that. Training camp is coming up here in the NFL, so kind of take us into the mindset from the undrafted perspective of what those guys are feeling headed into training camp. And then number 2 with that, I know Green Bay has this tradition with the kids and the bicycle thing.
Yeah.
Tell me about that tradition too.
Okay, so basically when they coming in as a free agent, man, like to be honest, at any situation, bro, you're not safe. You're not safe. Like I'm just being real. Like you're not safe. Like every day, like you might get cut. Like I seen dudes like there was one dude, he was a safety. He got cut the first week and then he came back the third week. Then they cut him again and brought him back like 3 days later, it was just crazy. So, like you just got to be prepared and be ready. Like I tell cats that whoever, if you play, if you're a free agent and make sure you get some, make sure you study your playbook, but also stay in the special teams. Special teams a year, man. Stay special teams will keep you as long because everybody don't want to play it.
Yeah.
So if you learn how to do more things, you have a bigger opportunity. Your percentage of staying is going to be a lot higher.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because just being
what
totally
kind of bike did you ride on?
And to be honest, man, they wasn't really rocking with me at first. Like the kids wasn't rocking me. All they wanted to do was Aaron, like Aaron Rodgers. They wanted to talk to Clay, like all the big name guys. Like they wasn't rocking with me, and until like the second, third week when they see me out there sticking. Yeah, they're like, Donte, can I?
Now you know me.
Yeah, exactly. So you just, like I said, you just got to make a name for yourself every level. So that was fun. Some days I didn't. I was like, bro, I'm not even about to argue with these kids. Some days I'll just take my cleats off and just walk. I'm just like, it's like I ain't got time. Like it's alright. It's like it's already hot. Kids, I'm like, I'll tell the kids like, hey man, you try to get me right? Nah, I had kids like, nah, I'm waiting for what you call it. I'm like, damn, all right. But I'm not tripping though, because they little kids, man. Like I was, they like fourth, fifth grade. It's like they want to see the guys that they look up to. So I wasn't tripping about that, but it was fun though. Yeah, it was real fun. Yeah.
All right, then, mate, you ready for these quick hits?
Yeah.
All right, man. Quick hits is sponsored by Scotch Porter, Men's Health Self-Care. It's always a perfect season to take care of yourself. They provide healthy beard and hair, face care products, highly effective and easy to use. All right, you got it, MH.
Favorite teammate. Shout out to your favorite teammate ever, Donte.
Favorite teammate. Excuse my language. One of my favorite teammates. My boy. Favorite teammate. Oh yeah, I got it. Because I got a whole bunch of homies that that's my favorite team. Like we was all real close. But one of the cats that I really, really, really rocked with was my boy on the field and off the field was my boy Barton. Just my whole D line basically. I can't really say, but like we all rocked with each other. So
there you go.
It was cool. So I really can't say just one person because we was all cool. We was all cool with each other.
Nice. All right. So in the D line room, and there's always a couple individuals. So there's somebody that's gonna be singing.
Yeah.
There's one that's just mad at the world.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's another one that joke around all the time. So which one were you?
Get our meeting rooms, man.
Hey, I was the one that was cracking the jokes. Yeah, I was the one, like me and my homies, like my boy Shook, he was the one that was always singing because he was from Hawaii. So he always singing like some slow jams or something like that. And then my boy Pierre and my boy Yates, they was always mad. Like them two was always mad at me. Because I kind of like I knew what to do, so I already knew the playbook. So I kind of just chilling, like when you know the playbook, you in there chilling. You like, yeah, like I watch film, but I'm gonna crack some jokes in here while we at it.
You got one for SMH?
Yeah, give me your top 5 Portland Trailblazers. If you got to have a starting 5 all time, who would that top 5 be?
Point guard, Damon.
Okay.
Shooting guard, I would say Clyde.
Yep.
Look at you. You was looking at me.
Yeah, I'm like, nah.
He was waiting.
No, I got Clyde, and then for my small forward, who should I put as my small? Should I put Melo?
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'll put Melo.
You better say Scottie Pippen though, because he's mad at the whole world.
Listen, if you don't say Scottie gonna be in this book, he gonna put you in the book, man. This is a wrap.
Hold on, shut the door. No. To be honest, I forgot about Scottie, man. I forgot Scottie played for them. So it was between them.
You're gonna
Scotty.
be a chapter in the book.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
how we gonna you gonna be in chapter 18. Hey, all right. So we want to move on, man, to kind of getting into the winner's circle, but I got two quick ones, so I need these to be quick. So really quick, you mentioned Dame. So do you listen to his music, and what do you think him as a rapper?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I listened to Dame, one of Dame's songs, but I'm not gonna say that like he can spit, like no lie. Like he can spit, but I'm saying like I haven't listened to I can't sit here and be like can tell you bar for bar what he said, but like his music come on the radio, his sound good, like he got good content. To be honest, I feel like he's the best like basketball rapper out of all of them, hands down. Yeah. So like I give him that respect because the thing about it is a lot of people can't do that. Straight up. Yeah.
And then really quick, do you think Rodgers is staying or he's out?
I think he out, man.
Yeah.
He just needs to I mean, to be honest, the reason why he done what he done up there, like he done enough. Well, what else do you want him to do? You know, like I'm just being real. Like you win championships, you got, you know, like you the best. You was the high at one point. He was the highest paid quarterback. You learn behind Brett Favre, like he's a Hall of Famer. You know, like one thing I can say, like one thing I can say when I was there, I was watching him practice. Man, I'm talking about he got a cannon, bro, like cannon. Like I remember he threw a slant route and I put my hand up in there. I thought I broke my finger, like because I blocked it, but I thought I broke my hand. I was like, God, because you know, like in NFL, like people know that's real pigskin. Like them balls is hard, balls is a lot harder, So one of them things hit you, like you like, man, you like my knuckles swelled up, all that, man. So it was just like, like I can say I saw some amazing passes, 1-footers, you know, you throwing it 70, 80 yards off of 1 foot and you on the opposite side, like your body on. I was just like, man, this dude's nasty. Like, like the dude was cold, man. Like, and he still is, but you know, like, and that was the time where he just got off a Super Bowl. So, you know, that was just like he was on, he was ready. So it was, like best quarterback I seen out of all of them.
There you go. All right, man. So now we're jumping into the winner's circle, man. This is where we get to promote and talk about what you're doing now. You got some great stuff, man, and I'm excited that you know how we got to talk about. So we're going to jump into Prolinked. The winner's circle is provided by Nevada Grow. Get the right data, making the right decisions, providing the right connections. Nevada Grow, helping Nevada businesses grow. All right, so tell us what is Prolinked and where did it come from? How did you start the company?
Okay, so Prolinked is a sports social media website that connects athletes, coaches, trainers, and other professional scouts on a worldwide scale, just for not one sport, but for all sports. So basically what we're doing, we're trying to bridge the gap, create more opportunities all around the world for people to play football, soccer, baseball, basically every single sport that's out there. So basically what it is, it's a system where you create a profile if you're a coach, you're an athlete, but all the profiles are different depending on what you're signing up to be inside the platform. And if you're a player, basically you have your 40 time L drill, all the drills that the pro scouts look at.
Combine drills, basically.
Yeah, all the combine drills, but we're also taking it to a different level where we're looking at different we're calculating techniques, how many MAs you got, different, you know, how many steps do you take this way? You know, coaches can use all that data, but it's getting built up from when you start the program until you end. So if you start as a kid and you've been in the Prolinked system since you was 9, you can see the growth. And it's a way for scouts and trainers and also agents to go in there and find clients as well too. So basically we're partnered up with different agencies to come up on there. So give people the safety and the security that they're not getting burnt by some no-name agent that doesn't have no certifications or anything like that.
Right.
And to go in there and come to our camps and also see the players as well to see them perform and also maybe get picked up by a pro team right there on the spot, especially in soccer. So basically we have to create an algorithm for every single sport. So each algorithm is different. It's going to be catered to each sport, but it's going to work all in one system where you can create your profile and these coaches can see exactly what they want to see. How many missed assignments he got? How many times does he, throw the post corner to the left? We're calculating all those different type of movements so the coaches can see a more in depth of who is the best player, who's the most accurate, who's the most, who's the fastest, but you're on the worldwide scale. So basically it's going to open up the competition as well. Nice. So basically what we're doing is throwing camps. And right now we have our first elite pro soccer camp going down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, next month on the 23rd and the 24th. And we also have it, the tickets are on sale right now on Eventbrite. Just type in Prolinked and they'll pop right up in the search key. Or you also go to our Instagram, Prolinked_official. Facebook, Prolinked, Instagram, Twitter, Prolinked1 to see information about the camp as well too. And we also have a LinkedIn page as well. So, we're on social media. We're just getting everything right. So basically how I started Prolinked was looking at my situation coming out of college and just telling you from that backstory how there's good players, but sometimes people or a situation can get in your way. You see what I'm saying? And, just MH, you being a college athlete and a pro athlete as well, sometimes, the politics get in the way, and I was like, man, how am I playing? How can I play 3 positions? I can play outside, I could play Mike and defensive end, and how I not get a job. I was thinking about that, but things happen for a reason. And to be honest, I was just sitting at the house working 9 to 5, bro. Just got, I went back to school, moved back to Vegas. I was just working at 9 to 5, keeping in shape, waiting for my opportunity. And things didn't unravel that way. But during that time when I was waiting, this is what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So a lot of cats was like, I got on LinkedIn, start pushing, building my profile up, doing different jobs that actually could help me during this. So I did a lot of sales. I did logistics. I worked for the Raiders. I did a lot of stuff that actually helps me in my business today. Awesome. and that's what I did. So I didn't have a lot of playtime when I was in Vegas, man. It wasn't playtime for me. I was just grinding, bro.
There it is.
That was it. Like a lot of my friends was like, man, you never go out. Da, 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 da. I was like, bro, first of all, I'm married now. I was like, it's like I got kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And at the same time, it was just like I was stacking my bread, just working. And getting my, just taking those steps of being an entrepreneur and getting into the tech industry and just going through the lumps and bruises, looking at other people's mistakes, $1 million mistakes and $1,000 mistakes that I had to watch out for,
right.
Because when you start a business, you gotta look out for the scammers. You gotta look out for the dudes that say they investors, but they really not. No, trust me, there's a game. I seen it from my own eyes. It was in Vegas. I went to an entrepreneur meeting, and these people was like, "Oh yeah, I love your idea, but I'm soaking up the game because they telling me about SWOT and this all the different marketing and just basically all the steps that take." So I just took they was giving you real actual data and actual stuff to know, but at the same time. I grew up around hustlers and pimps and stuff like that growing up. So I was like, man, y'all ain't this ain't something. This is, I ain't green. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I seen this before, my man. This, this ain't new to me, but it's just in a different way. You just in corporate America now. Mm-hmm. So it's all the same thing, man. So I just took that information as just seeing and not seeing what not to look for. And then you got investors talking about, oh yeah, you got to pay $5,000 before we give you 10, before we give you 25. And I was just like, what? Like that don't make sense. I was like, why should I give you money for you to give me money?
That's
Like,
definitely a hustle.
it's like,
That's definitely
that's a hustle. That's a hustle. They hustling.
Listen, your uncle in Zamunda just left you $8 million, but all you got to do is send us 1,000. So yeah,
that's that Western Union hustle.
Exactly. But the thing about it is, exactly. So I took that, and I was like, okay, now I know what to look for. You know, what else do I need? Like, I'm reaching out to people on LinkedIn, like, hey, how do I get this started? You know, I'm trying to talk to people that's smarter than me because they know.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah,
that's a great lesson, man. If there's nothing that, like, out of that you said, is always, putting people in any of your circles that you're doing that's smarter than you, man. That's dope. All right, really quick, to kind of make sure our people, know what you have going on. Is this just for like pro athletes or people going pro, then people that work in professionals? Are you looking from all levels?
We're looking at for all levels, bro. Like college, like people can get picked up from college. College scouts can sign up on this. Like kids at the ages of 9, because you got to understand soccer. And like when you start looking at different countries, like when you go outside the United States haven't built up where you have to go through the NCAA. Out there in Europe and different countries, like they finish high school at like 16, 17.
Right.
So those guys go straight to being a professional. So that's why you get them dudes like Dragic and all them dudes that play in the NBA that coming in at 19 years old, just giving everybody buckets because they already been playing pro ball and they're on tier 1 at 16, 17. So by the time they 20 years old, they're a vet. So like the clock is ticking. So in the US, we're trying to bridge that gap where we can get more guys that we have pro talent to different industries and all over the world and just in all sports, man. And it's just it's going to connect people even from out of the country to different spots because this is a worldwide platform. Yeah, it's a worldwide platform. So we just trying to get in tune, and we have other things that we want to work with it. We want to get into esports, cryptocurrency, NFT. Like there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this platform because of sports, man. Like everybody loves sports, bro. And when you see people, you see pro athletes signing up and everybody talking about Prolinked, like people are going to sign up because if you have the opportunity, if I had something like this when I was in high school where I can put my name and put everything on here and every single coach in the whole world can see, it wouldn't be no ifs, ands, or buts. So my page would be on there. So that's kind of the genesis of this, right, man? Yeah, because
like not having that resource when you were coming up through high school where you had to shoot your shot. When you were coming,
get lost in that sauce, man. That's just how you don't want to get lost in that crowd. So now you have this information that's available to everybody because I didn't know there was leagues in Brazil. I didn't know there was leagues in Japan and leagues in Europe for football. I didn't know all that. I thought it was just the NFL and the AFL. That's it. But once I saw the broader picture, I was like, damn, I think we got something going here, man. So,
nice.
I had to grind it out, man. Like the first time I did, because at first we was going to call it mobile prospect. And then I was just kind of like, all right, we got to change this. And then like, I remember staying in the house for like a week straight, bro. I didn't have no job. I was just grinding it out at the time. And I was just, up all night, for a week straight, just grinding it out, bro, and just getting the foundation. And then when me and my partners, we just started adding the pieces together. And then now, we got our first camp going on, and the app is done. We just wait for everybody to sign up so we could enter in the database, enter their information in the database because we got to get accurate numbers.
There you go. Well, hey, we're getting close to time. Maj, you got one more question for him?
No, I think you touched on a couple of things. For one, it's crazy how technology and social media has kind of made the world even smaller.
Yeah.
And then number two, I think coming post the pandemic, the world's even smaller because we all dealt kind of with the same thing in different ways.
Definitely.
And I think what you're doing is superb and great right now, especially right now because there's a lot of kids, or there's a lot of just kind of unknown and opportunities to get information out there.
Absolutely.
for people in sports. So I just want to commend you what you're doing, Donte.
I mean, appreciate it, because that was a big concern, because you got a lot of high school seniors that can't go to school right now.
Right.
So it's just like you got to do something. So this is because colleges they're not picking up nobody. So if you can go to this camp and get scouted, and all of a sudden you ain't got to worry about college no more. Yeah. But if you want to take the college route, you still can. But if you want to take that pro route, it still can. But it all leads to you being a pro and just being around those pro athletes and pro trainers at all times on the platform. Post videos, pictures, all that. Go on there, have fun. Talk to your boys. Not retweet, but reshare people's stuff. It's the same thing, but it's also a tool that everybody can use as well too. So it's the business side, and then you got the fun side part of it too.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, man, time flies when you're having fun, man. We covered a lot.
Definitely.
So this is our last section, man. We call it the assist or dropping coaching gems, where you can just kind of share a word of wisdom, man. Give us a 30 seconds or less, a quote that you live by, or something that you would tell yourself or you tell our listeners out there.
Man, one quote that I live by is persistence is key. You gotta stay persistent in anything you do. One thing that taught me that was football, because the thing about it is you're not going to be the best player when overnight. It don't work like that. And one thing I can say, man, just when you want to follow your dreams, man, you just gotta. Sometimes sometimes it's hard because a lot of people won't understand, and and sometimes it might be your family, it might be your best friend. But at the same time, you just got to keep moving, and just
shot and bet on yourself, huh?
And basically roll the dice, man. You just gotta, sometimes you just gotta block out all the stuff that you don't need in your life right now. Because when you trying to step up in your life, it's that separation. Now it feels like you by yourself, because you're doing something that nobody else is doing. Because like Black in Sports, man, I know you probably got friends, but they ain't on the same on the same page as you at this moment. So it's kind of different. Sometimes you lose friends. That's just part of the everything. So don't get upset. I just tell you guys, don't get upset. It's just life. Like that's just what it is. And anybody that's older than you gonna tell you that. Like, you're gonna win, you're gonna have friends, you're gonna lose friends. So that's just the way it is.
The lonely at the top didn't come from nothing. That's saying it come from nothing. That's real life.
No, seriously.
So I want to thank D-Man, really appreciate your time today, man. Want to thank our guests for listening. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Want to thank all of our sponsors. They're on the show. If you want to become a sponsor, definitely reach out to us. And just like we always say, man, please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.